Right now at noon, Madison police are looking for suspects following a shooting on the Beltline early this morning. We'll have the very latest. And why police officers around the state are standing on the roofs of Dunkin' Donut stores.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Friday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in just a bit, but first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. Hi, Chris.
Good morning, folks. Well, good afternoon, folks, at this point. It's been a long morning, but a lot of the shower and thunderstorm activity that we had earlier on is continuing to move out of the area now. This is Doppler track just showing you the overnight hours, and early this morning, you see how things lit up over southern Wisconsin for a time, but now those showers are well off towards the north and east. Places such as Green Bay, Manitowoc, down towards Sheboygan. That is where we are seeing any shower or thunderstorm activity at the moment. We did even see some breaking up of the cloud cover. There's a little bit of some thicker cloud cover trying to come back into the picture. We will see if another little shower tries to power up there. But for the most part, I think we are going to stay on the drier side. 75 degrees our temperature right now. And I think we'll warm up another 3 degrees or so as we go throughout the day with perhaps some added sunshine into the afternoon, Mark.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes, Chris. Thank you. Top in our news today, police have just located the Dodge Durango they believe was involved in the shooting on the Beltline this morning. But they're still looking for the suspects. Police believe they are armed and dangerous. And police are now saying they believe shots were exchanged between two cars involved. Right now, our Jamie Perez joins us live with the latest on the shooting. Jamie?
Well, police are now saying that this is an ongoing result of an ongoing dispute that was happening between the two parties involved in these cars. And witnesses say that that shooting actually happened right around this area of the Beltline here around rush hour this morning. Now, multiple witnesses say that they saw somebody stand up through the sunroof of the Durango and shoot at a white Malibu on the Beltline. Police say they saw the Durango get off on the Beltline here on Rimrock Road. Witnesses say the cars were driving recklessly when this happened. This is just the latest incident in a series of gun-related violence that's happened over the past couple of weeks here in Madison.
Within the last couple of weeks, we've had guns fired into residences where people are sleeping and living. Now we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of people on the West Beltline Highway when at least one person opened fire. We've got one vehicle that's been struck for sure.
Joel Despain added that the Malibu was hit by a bullet, and they have found that car on Madison's west side as well. So far, no injuries have been reported at this time. And earlier this morning, police were able to find one of the shell casings of the bullets. And we will join you with live updates on News 3 Now at 4, 5, and 6 as this story develops and we gather more information as the day goes on.
All right, Jamie Perez reporting live from the Beltline. Thank you. Madison police officers responded to multiple calls of shots fired on the city's west side. Early this morning, just before 12:30 a.m., officers went to the 5800 block of Russet Road, where they found shell casings in the road. Local residents are being questioned for more information. There have been no reports of damage or injuries associated with the shots fired calls up to this point. A man accused of killing a Beaver Dam man has pleaded guilty. According to the complaint, 21-year-old Nigel Schultz and Bradley Gerke were friends, and Schultz had given Gerke a gun, but Schultz became suspicious of Gerke after Gerke said that the gun had gone missing. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office says Schultz shot Gerke 16 times back in October. Schultz told police that he burned Gerke's body. A sentencing hearing is scheduled for him in January. A Beloit man is arrested following a burglary that happened in July. The town of Beloit police say that the burglary happened in the 2200 block of Powwow Trail. Police say rare coins, collector coins, were taken. With the help of the public, 57-year-old John Isaacson was taken into custody and is currently at the Rock County Jail. He could face burglary and theft charges. Police say the stolen coins have not been found. One of NASCAR's most beloved figures is recovering after a dramatic escape from a plane crash. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his family were in a small plane that ran off a runway and caught fire in East Tennessee yesterday. Firefighters arrived on the scene within minutes. Two pilots, Earnhardt, his wife Amy, and their one-year-old daughter Isla managed to escape the crash uninjured. The FAA and the NTSB are looking into what happened. Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is rejecting Israel's latest offer to visit that country. The government reversed its decision to ban her from the country by allowing her to enter on humanitarian grounds. Nicole Killian has more on the controversy from the White House.
Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib says she will not go to Israel after all. Israeli leadership decided Friday to allow Tlaib to visit her grandmother in the West Bank as long as she promised not to discuss a boycott of Israel during her stay, something Tlaib had initially agreed to do. But in a tweet this morning, she said, "I have decided that visiting my grandmother under these oppressive conditions stands against everything I believe in, fighting against racism, oppression, and injustice." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had banned Tlaib and fellow Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, both of whom are Muslim, because they support a boycott of Israel over its treatment of Palestinians. Netanyahu was responding to pressure from President Trump, who suggested the prime minister should ban the Democratic Congresswoman.
I think it would be a terrible thing, frankly, for Israel to let these two people who speak so badly about Israel come in, and they have become, amazingly, the face of the Democrats.
Former U.S. Ambassador to Israel Dan Shapiro says the president is playing politics.
He has said the Democrats are an anti-Israel party and anti-Semitic parties. These are absurd slurs, but he's trying to get those ideas cemented into the public discourse.
Republican Senators Marco Rubio and Susan Collins joined Democrats in protesting Israel's decision, as did the powerful pro-Israeli lobby AIPAC, which said the Congresswoman should be allowed to visit. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
AIPAC supported Tlaib's and Omar's visit, even though Congresswoman Omar was accused of anti-Semitism after saying the committee funded Republican support for Israel. Well, for the 8th year in a row, men and women in uniform stood atop local Dunkin's for several hours today, all for a good cause. The annual Cop on a Rooftop fundraiser collects money for Special Olympics Wisconsin. In return for officers doing time at their restaurants, Dunkin' donates $5,000 to the Law Enforcement Torch Run. These officers are hoping to raise more than $80,000 this year, which will help local athletes like Dean do what they need to do.
Good friendship, meet new people, be with everybody, greet them, say hi. The cops been awesome with Special Olympics for us.
We'll have an update on the total amount raised on our website, channel3000.com. Well, parents know that the list of school supplies seems to grow every year, and it can all add up. But there are a number of organizations in our area making sure kids have the tools they need to succeed. The Goodman Community Center is one of those. Their school supply drive wraps up today. The items they need the most right now include backpacks, lunch boxes, and the usual notebooks and pencils. They say the best way you can help, buy a new backpack and fill it up with supplies. The center will be open for donations until 8 o'clock tonight. If you can't stop by today, you can also make a monetary donation online. 100 backpacks over the next 2 days. Right now, they're specifically looking for extra large backpacks as well as 3-ring binders and college-ruled paper for older kids. You can donate these items at the Middleton Outreach Ministries office on Parmenter Street. And News 3 Now this morning is helping you and your kids get back to school in the right way all month long. On Monday morning, Josh and Leah will be talking with the Dane County Sheriff's Office on how you can teach your kids to be alert and safe at school. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
A one-pan skillet dish that'll knock your socks off. Be sure you stick around so you can make this tonight. Oh, and don't forget to hold on to your socks. A one-pan skillet dish that'll knock your socks off. Well, not literally, but once you taste it, I'd love to hear how you describe how good it is. The first thing we want to do is cut a 1 to 2 pound pork loin into half-inch slices. Now we place each one between a couple of pieces of plastic wrap and gently pound them so they're pretty thin. Flattening these is what makes them really tender. Okay, next, we season them with salt and pepper and dredge them in some flour. Then we saute them in butter for a few minutes on each side. Once they're done, we place them on a platter and cover them to keep them warm. Now in the same skillet, we combine some heavy cream and pesto. And after letting this simmer for a bit, we add some sliced plum tomatoes. That's it. A fresh tasting all-in-one skillet favorite that's packed with flavor and looks so impressive, you'll never guess it was made in about 10 minutes. Now, that's my kind of dinner. To get the recipe for our pesto pork medallions, all you need to do is visit our website. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a simple stovetop way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, a cloudy end of the work week. Meteorologist Chris Reese has more in your first alert forecast next. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. You can call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. An unstable trading week comes to an end, and are women better than men at multitasking? Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
Wall Street started higher Friday and another seesaw week for stocks. Recession fears abated as weakening bond yields eased back from record lows. Groundbreaking on new homes fell in July. According to the Commerce Department, housing starts declined 0.4%. That marks the third month in a row of a drop in home construction. AT&T and T-Mobile are teaming up to fight robocalls. The companies announced that calls across both networks would be verified for authenticity. Previously, call verification was available for in-network calls, but now it will apply to calls from T-Mobile to AT&T and vice versa. Customers will see call verified on their screens when they receive a call. The FCC mandated all carriers provide verification across networks by the end of the year. And it turns out multitasking is hard for almost everyone. Psychologists in Germany tested 48 men and 48 women in two multitasking scenarios, paying attention to two things at the same time and switching attention between two tasks. Researchers found that men and women were equally bad at doing multiple tasks at the same time, both in speed and accuracy. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Thank you, Diane. At the noon hour, the Dow Industrials up 278 points. The NASDAQ up 122. The S&P 500 up 38. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today. So here are your farm numbers. Time now for your weekend weather forecast. Here's Chris.
Hey guys, we've seen the cloud cover sticking around after seeing some areas of showers and thunderstorms earlier this morning. Here's a live look from the Edgewater sky camera right now. Still some clouds above the Capitol, and those are larger cumulus clouds, but no rain coming out of those at the moment. 75 degrees is our temperature. The wind's coming out of the south and west at 8 miles per hour, folks. That southwest wind is going to keep us warm today. It's also going to keep things just a little bit more on the humid side. Check out those dew points into the low and mid 60s at this point. Here it is, though, the strong southerly wind that's keeping the air that we have in place right now pretty much right on top of us. 77 in Janesville right now. Notice 77 in Boscobel as well. Almost all of the temperatures are into the 70s. As you work your way towards the extreme north, we do still have some temperatures that are into the mid and upper 60s. But folks, the showers and thunderstorms, those are out of here. We're getting a clean sweep right now. If you're looking for the shower and thunderstorm activity, well, you have to work your way towards the north and east. Rylander down towards Green Bay, towards Manitowoc and Sheboygan. That's where the shower activity is as we speak. It continues to move away from us, but we're going to pay attention towards the southwestern corner of the state. Some of the models are trying to show a couple more showers that will develop and move this direction, but one of the reasons I don't think this is going to happen, notice the models start out with some of the showers already there. Well, if we go back to radar, there are no showers there. So that's one of the things you look at as a forecaster, is whether or not the models are picking up on what's there to begin with, and they just aren't. So I still think we're going to be mainly dry as we go through the rest of the afternoon. Dew points, though, are up there. So there's plenty of moisture in the atmosphere, that's for sure. The dew point at 65 in Boscobel, 67 in Dubuque. This yellow bullseye is still an error on the screen, but notice really all throughout Wisconsin and the upper Midwest, it is humid. And that really, in large part, has to do with the southerly wind that we have in play. You have a clockwise flow that goes around high pressure. This will keep the winds out of the south for us. You have a counterclockwise low that goes around, or a counterclockwise flow that goes around low pressure. And so with that, you have two different features on the weather map that are bringing in a strong southerly wind. That is going to keep things warm and perhaps even somewhat humid as we go through the weekend. Here we are going through the rest of this afternoon. Again, Future Track trying to show a few more showers developing. I still think we're starting to dry out. We'll see those highs right around 78 degrees. We'll clear things out overnight. That southerly wind stays in play into Saturday. We'll start out at 61 degrees and then warm up towards 74 by lunch and then 83 into the afternoon. But we're still going to watch what happens as we go into your Saturday night into Sunday, because another little rain chance starts to arrive from the west. And with all the moisture that we have in place, I wouldn't be surprised if that one's a little bit more of a heavier rainmaker. Notice just where it starts to show that rain coming in, it's spitting out totals, say 1 to 2 inches. I think that's a bit overdone, but the heavy rain potential is certainly going to be there. That's a cold front, though, that'll knock our temperatures back down a little bit closer towards average for the middle of the upcoming work week. But folks, as we look at the extended forecast, it's still summery. Believe it or not, those temperatures are staying above average for the most part. We'll have rain chances in the forecast, but at least in the near term, most of them are overnight. You're talking Saturday night into Sunday and then Monday night into Tuesday. So your dry time is during the day when a lot of folks want to get out.
That's good timing.
Great timing from Mother Nature.
All right, Chris, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, West Nile virus cases in the United States are increasing. What you can do to protect yourself from mosquitoes. That's after a short break. Well, the U.S. is on alert for West Nile virus. It's the most common virus transmitted by mosquitoes, and cases pick up right around this time of year. 36 states, including Wisconsin, are reporting infections in people, birds, and mosquitoes. The CDC says there have been 128 cases of West Nile disease in people this year, and 4 have died. Cases with severe disease also on the rise.
1 in 5 individuals will get sick. They'll develop fever, sometimes fever and a rash, and a headache. And then a subset of those individuals will progress to what we call neuroinvasive disease, where the virus actually crosses into the central nervous system to cause encephalitis.
Protecting yourself from mosquito bites is critical. The CDC recommends using insect repellents containing one of these ingredients you see on the screen. And Chris, I guess we can wait for the first frost. That'll help with the mosquitoes.
Yeah, it typically does, though it's a while away. The first frost isn't coming until about the second week of October. But there's no frost in this forecast, folks. We're keeping those temperatures well above average. The average high at this point, 79, but we have some 85s and 86s in that forecast. So yes, it certainly is a reminder that summer is still here. A couple rain chances. We'll have one tomorrow night into Sunday, another one Monday night into Tuesday. I think the middle of next week, Wednesday and Thursday, will be fairly good for us. They might even be a couple degrees cooler than the low 80s that I have in store for now.
All right, still summer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.